You know what, Napoleon? You can leave.
Video ever made.
You guys are retarded. Hey, check that out.
Where's your mind?
How was that fall? Good Sunday morning. It snowed a little bit more last night and it's kind of nasty. It's also calving season, which means Jake went out this morning and got a message that said they're not going to make it to Sunday school, which I expected with this type of weather. But it's time for us to get up and going. I'm going to go shovel the sidewalk to the garage and get our car. Church day. We're still having church today. The recommendations are gatherings of 100 people or more. That is not us. And, you know, without trying to make light of it, I think there is more fear than is rational. Yes, more people are catching it because it's more contagious, and we want to be careful with that. At the same time, I am not going to allow fear to be more of a factor than not. Now, if we were a large crowd, maybe I'd consider canceling it. But being that we're a small crowd, we're not going to. Life pretty much right now is just going on as normal in Jordan. We did have church, and
I want to play this game with Mom.
okay.
Do you want to play it?
No, Daddy doesn't want to play it. And me, Sharon, and Elijah have come down with cold. We know it's a cold because there's no fever. And there's snotty runny nose, which is not coronavirus. But either way, everything is getting canceled. We're still going to do Bible study tomorrow night, but school has been canceled here for 2 weeks. I'm on spring break anyway, so it doesn't matter. I guess we shall see what this week holds. We did cancel Bible study tonight. We have a couple of families that have been traveling recently who decided to self-quarantine. And then we, with us having colds, there wasn't anybody really to lead. And so we just decided it was easier since the schools and everything else. We just decided to close and play it safe. So. Look, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Popped all. Oh.
There's a lot more twos.
Two.
Now pop every balloon with the number 1.
1. This is your list.
We always live stream our service. I think it's important to pastor your people even when they're not there. As a pastor, you've been called to a specific location, and it's important that you speak to your people each week. We get into this mindset that it's okay if they watch somebody else's message, and I think that's great. I encourage my people to watch other messages during the week, but they need to hear from their pastor each week. And so if you are not live streaming as a small town pastor, you need to really do that. You need to really consider adding that option.
So I'm going now. Gotta get my wallet. Oops. I'm going to the cafe. We decided to order supper because, not because we don't have food. I buy a month's worth at a time, so we have groceries. Sorry, hard to hold all this and talk and walk. But anyway, we have groceries, but people aren't out and about with this coronavirus mess. And so we are thankful to have what we have here in Jordan. And so we want to support our local businesses. So we bought some stuff from the grocery store today and decided that getting some supper from the cafe would be a treat for us, but also help that business to stay alive and stay here in town. And so I'm gonna go get that. Yay! KJ's in a meeting. And he's trying to eat supper because I waited too long to go get it.
The most important thing for small town pastors to do is to continue to pastor in their small town. Don't just say, well, the big churches are doing it better, go watch online there. No, they need to hear from you. You are their pastor. That's the man that God has called to be in that community, and they need to be pastoring that community. So we are still going to do our service here, but we are encouraging people to watch it on live stream, especially if they've been sick or if they're immune compromised. It'll just be better to do it that way. And so we're trying to get it set up. We wanted to be able to have the screen in there. We're having live music.
I have no idea what they're playing, but I just heard, "You're not my butler."
Cover in here. It's gonna be dark in here. Hey, looking over. Looking over and put it like that. Hey, can I be out now? Thank you. Ow! Do not escape from the castle.
Flash is meeting Carl.
Well, it's running and I don't see any leaks, so I'm going to call that good enough.